children, welcome back to our online classes. So as you all know that we are discussing about respiration in organisms, and in this chapter already we have completed 2 classes, and in that we already have discussed about why do we respire and what is respiration and what are the types of respiration and what is breathing. Yes, can you tell me what is breathing? Yes, the breathing is the process of taking in air which is rich in oxygen and giving out air which is rich in carbon dioxide. So that is called as the breathing, and again this breathing also involves 2 steps. One is inhalation and another one is exhalation. So inhalation means we take the air which is rich in oxygen, and in the process of inhalation we expel the air or we given out the air which is rich in carbon dioxide. So this is what the breathing, and the number of times a person breathes in a minute is called as breathing rate, and this breathing rate can be varies from the situation, because sometimes when we do more works, that time the breathing rate will be high, and when we are at rest, that time the breathing rate will be slow. So according to the requirement of the energy from the body, the breathing rate will be go on varying. Yes, and on an average the breathing rate of an adult person will be 15 to 18 times per minute, and one breath means it is having both inhalation and exhalation. One breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. So this is what we call as the breathing, and breathing rate varies from one person to another person, and also it is depending on means not from person to person. On an average we can take the breathing rate. On an average it is varies from according to the requirement of the energy. Okay, usually a person breathes 15 to 18 times per minute. 1 minute ಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಲ ಬ್ರೀತ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? 15 to 18 times. ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೆವಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅಥವಾ ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಬ್ರೀದಿಂಗ್ ರೇಟ್ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ರನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬಂದಾಗ ಹೆವಿ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಗೇನು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಬೇಕಾದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ನಮಗೆ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎದಕ್ಕೈತಿ? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಡ್ ಟು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಡೌನ್ ದ ಫುಡ್ ಟು get the or to release the energy. So when we do these exercises and the weight lifting or any works, so that time the need of the energy from the body is more. So when we need of energy is more, that time it requires more oxygen so that we breathe faster and deeper. So according to the requirements, the breathing rate may go on varying. So this is what the breathing rate. And in the today's class, as you might have seen on the board, that the respiratory system is there, and the heading I wrote here, how do we breathe? So we know about the breathing, we know what is breathing, and we know what is breathing rate, but do you know how do we breathe? So how the breathing mechanism takes place in our body, so that we should understand, because it is there in our body, and it is our body is a wonderful machine. It is having many organs, so that some organs are there, they are working restless. Even we sleeping also, some of our body organs are under working. Yes, when we sleep our body may take rest, but inside the body some organs are there, like digestive system is there, it continuously digests the food, and our heart is there, it continuously beats and it continuously pumps the blood, and this our respiratory system is there, we continuously breathing. We know, we already learned in the previous class that we breathe throughout the life. So without breathing we cannot live. We are not breathing means we are not living. the breathing process takes place throughout our life. So how many years we live, that many years we breathe continuously. It is the continuous process. So even when we are sleeping or sitting idle or doing anything, we are continuously breathing. So we have to know how we breathe, what are the organs are there in our body, how they help to breathe. So about that all we'll discuss in our today's class. Okay? Are you interested to learn this? Yes. Hope you also wanted to learn how do we breathe and what are the processes are takes place, and when we inhale what are the changes takes place in our body, and when we exhale the air what are the changes takes place. So that all we learn now. Okay, so how do we breathe? And we breathe through the respiratory system, and these respiratory system have many organs. Now I will show you. You might have seen this chart. Yes, are you seeing this? Yes. With the help of this chart, I will explain how do we breathe and what are the changes takes place and how the air is coming into our body, and also how can we get it out from the body. So about that all we can discuss here. Now we can see the respiratory system. The picture what you are seeing here, that is the respiratory system, and here we can understand that how do we breathe. Okay, and even in your textbook also the diagram is there. If the parts are not appear clearly in the video, you just go through your textbook, and here the parts are given in detail, and in your textbook they are given only the main organs of this respiratory system, and those parts are enough to understand the mechanism of breathing. So here you just see your textbook, for you just observe your diagram in the textbook to observe this or to understand this respiratory system. Okay, see now here we can see normally we take in air through our nostrils, right? So here these are the nostrils, and in the nostril hair will be there, and these hair are also helpful because when we inhale the air might have some pollen grains or some dust particles or some other organisms, so that it can trap those all, and it can allow the air to pass through the nostrils, and here that will reaches to the nasal cavity, and the air which we take from the nostrils, so that will pass through the nasal cavity, and then it reaches the trachea, which what we can also call as windpipe. Okay, this trachea is also called as windpipe, and the air which we taking in that will reaches through this trachea, and then it reaches the lungs, and these lungs are covered with the ribs. Okay, see the ribs what we can call pakkelubu anta karita kannadadaru. So there are 12 pairs of ribs are there. So one side it is given, the same structure will be there on the other side also. So here they gave the diagram in detail about the lung internal structure, and it is what the outside, how it is covered. So that it is given. So to understand, to the better understand of this mechanism, they gave the diagram like that. So here these lungs are covered with the ribs, and there are 12 pairs of ribs are there in our body, and these ribs are the bones. Okay, and see these bones protect the lungs because the lungs are very delicate organs. So these ribs they will protect our lungs, So the ribs, the lungs are present inside the ribs. So these will protect, the ribs will protect our lungs, and these lungs are present in the chest cavity. Okay, so here this is the part of the chest, and here in the chest cavity the lungs are there, and they are covered with the ribs, and ribs are protect the lungs. So ಈ ಪಕ್ಕೆಲುಬು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು ನಮ್ಮ lungs ಅನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವು, ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ they are very delicate organs, so that the protection should be there. So they will protect the ribs, they protect the lungs. And there are two lungs are there. One is right lung, so this is right lung, and this is left lung. So there are two lungs are there in our body. And at the bottom there is a muscular sheet is there, that is called diaphragm. So here the diaphragm is there. So this is the muscular sheet, and it acts just like a floor to this respiratory system. This act as a floor. Okay, so this is the floor, and on this all the organs are there. So like that it is there, the diaphragm, and this act as the floor. And see, when we inhale and exhale, the movements takes place in these organs. Okay, there is the size, the change in the size may take place, and you will experience or you feel that. So when you are inhaling and when you are exhaling, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಉಸಿರನ್ನು ಒಳಗೆ ತಗೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವಾಗ ಉಸಿರನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನಮಗೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಚೆಸ್ಟು it will be larger, the size of the chest become larger when we inhale the air, and it will become smaller when we exhale. So like that the variation in the size we observe, you can observe it when you are breathing, means you are breathing continuously, and whenever you are breathing just observe the size of this. Okay, so you can easily find out. So how this thing will happen, so just we can learn about that. So already we said that we breathe through our nostrils, the holes are there in the nose, they are called as the nostrils, and when we breathe the air which is rich in oxygen, so that will be passes through this nasal cavity and reaches the lungs. So here when we inhale the air, that time the diaphragm that will move up and out, during this the ribs they will move up and outwards. So the ribs, these ribs are there, so these ribs will move up and outwards, so it expands. And see the diaphragm, that time the diaphragm moves downwards. Okay, when we inhale the air, when we inhale the air which is rich in oxygen, that time the ribs move up and outwards, so that we feel that so in that time the air is filled in this lungs. So these lungs are just like a sac like structures, ಇವೇನು ಚೀಲ ಇದ್ದಂಗಿರ್ತವೆ. ನಾವು ಏರನ್ನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ, ಗಾಳಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಲಂಗ್ಸ್ ಉಬ್ಬುತ್ತವೆ. So that is the reason these ribs can move upwards and they will move, the ribs will goes up and outwards, and the diaphragm moves down. And when we exhale the air, that time what happen, these ribs will comes down and inwards. Okay, the ribs will move, they will comes down and inwards, and the diaphragm moves upwards now. So that there is a variation in the size when we inhale and when we exhale the air, the variation in sizes takes place in our chest cavity. So you can also observe that. Just you keep your hand on your abdomen, means the part of the stomach, and you just observe when you are breathing, so that you can see that when we inhale the air it will expand, and when we exhale it will move down. So likewise the changes in the sizes takes place. So this is what the mechanism of respiration. Okay, respiratory system. This is about respiratory system, and even in your textbook also there it is given. So the diaphragm moves down during the inhalation. Yes, here you can see in this diagram you can see that the diaphragm that is moves down when we inhale the air, and the diaphragm moves back when we exhale the air. And to understand this activity and also do one activity, that so I said that the chest, that with the size variation in size takes place. So just you measure the size of your chest, okay, and also you can measure the size of the people who are there in your house, and if you are there in the school you can do with this activity with your friends. But now you are at home, so make all the activities with your family members and just note it down. In the textbook the tabular column is also given effect of breathing on the chest size of some classmates they gave, but you just do this with the family members. Okay, during inhalation and during exhalation and difference in the size, so that all you just measure and write it down in your textbook. Okay, and to understand this mechanism, just a simple experiment is there, and I will show that with the help of the and with this I will attach a video also to understand that mechanism of breathing. Let me explain about that now. So to understand that mechanism of respiration, we have one activity in your textbook. So for that the requirements, the needed requirements are a transparent bottle, okay, that should be transparent, and some tubes and balloons and rubber cork, okay. And to perform this activity you have to take a bottle or any of the vessel which is transparent, and cut the bottom of that bottle. You just remove the bottom of the bottle, and then here you just you can fit it with an rubber sheet. Okay, you just fit here, you just fit with the thread, or you just fit it a rubber sheet, and then take a rubber cork here and make hole in it and insert the tube here. So like this you can take the tubes, and here you just attach some balloon here, tie balloon to these ends, and see here this is the balloon and the rubber sheet, and this is the arrangement of the apparatus. And here to perform this activity, what happened, this is the same as that of our respiratory system. So here what we do is just a rubber sheet, the rubber sheet what we are taken here, this rubber sheet is act as a diaphragm. Okay, the diaphragm is there now, which is act as the floor. So this rubber sheet is also just like a floor here, and these balloons are just like the lungs. Okay, and this is like trachea, the tube. Okay, this is like trachea, and this opening it is like nostrils. Okay, so this is what the similarity of this experiment and the mechanism of respiratory system. So when we move this diaphragm down, so that time the air from the outside it will enter through this pipe and it reaches the balloon. So the balloons gets inflated. Balloon उगता हुआ. And when the diaphragm means when we move this diaphragm or the rubber sheet upwards to its former position, means to its original position, that time the air will goes outside and they will get means flattened. The balloons become flattened. So we can now observe this activity with the help of an video. With the help of the video. Now I will show you that. We can learn the process of breathing. So for this, take a transparent bottle and remove its bottom. Then take a rubber cork and Y-shaped plastic tube and two deflated balloon. And then now to each end of the tube, fix the balloons. And then cap the bottle with cork. Put the tube attached to the balloons inside the bottle from its open bottom and make a hole in the cork and pass the open end of the tube outside the bottle through the hole. Now tie a rubber sheet at the bottom of the bottle tightly so that no air can pass through it. Pull down the rubber sheet and watch the balloons get inflated. Now push the rubber sheet inside the bottle and watch balloons collapse. How do the balloons get inflated and deflated? When we pull or push the rubber sheet. When we pull the rubber sheet outwards, the space inside the bottle increases and the air inside the bottle becomes lighter. So the dense air rushes into the balloons from outside. The air enters the tube through the opening outside the bottle, then the air travels through the tube and enters the two branches of the tubes and into the balloons. When we push the rubber sheet inside, the space in the jar is reduced and the pressure is increased. This pushes the air out of the balloons get deflated. Now let us see how this correlates to the breathing system. The bottle is like a human body. There is an empty space or a cavity inside the body filled with air called body cavity. The rubber sheet is the diaphragm which divides the body into two parts. The upper part is the chest cavity. The Y-shaped tube is the trachea and the bronchi. The balloons are like the lungs which are situated in the chest cavity. Now let us see what happens in our body. The opening of tube outside the bottle is the opening in the nose, which is the nostrils. When diaphragm goes down, it makes the chest cavity larger. In the same manner, when we pull the rubber sheet, the space inside the bottle gets larger. The oxygen-rich air from outside enters the windpipe through the nostrils. It happens just like what we saw in the experiment. Air enters the bronchi like the air enters the two branches of the tubes in the experiment. Then finally air goes to the lungs and the lungs get inflated as the balloons in the experiment. Similarly, when we push the rubber sheet or the diaphragm, it moves the air up and the cavity becomes denser. There is more pressure on the balloons or the lungs and air gets out of the body through the same path as before. That means from lungs to the bronchi, windpipe, nasal cavity, nostrils and finally out of the body. Thus the breathing is controlled by the movement of diaphragm. Diaphragm is a membrane which is present between the chest and abdomen. The movement of diaphragm is controlled by a group of muscles. In humans, breathing involves two main steps when in air which is rich in oxygen is called inhalation. And during inhalation, the diaphragm moves down, that is contracts, the rib cage expands. This leads to the expansion inside the lungs. When the diaphragm contracts, the volume of the thoracic cavity increases. As a result, the oxygen-rich air from outside enters the lungs through the nostrils and then to the alveolar sacs. Giving out air which is rich in carbon dioxide is called exhalation. During exhalation, the diaphragm moves up, that is relaxes, the rib cage contracts. This leads to the contraction of lungs. When the diaphragm relaxes, the volume of the thoracic cavity decreases. As a result, the carbon dioxide rich air moves out of the lungs through the same path but in the opposite direction. So, with this you understood how the breathing mechanism takes place, and I explained that we inhale through the nostrils and also we exhale through the nostrils, and many organs are there, they will help in the mechanism of the breathing. And when we inhale the air, so I said that here we breathe through the nostrils, and these nostrils have some hair inside it. Okay, so that will trap the dust, smoke or pollen grains, pollens which are there, which are present in the atmosphere. When we are breathing, those may also trap in the hair. Means they will also, we can also inhale those, they are unwanted particles. The dust, smoke and pollens, they are not necessary for our body. They are unwanted, means they are foreign particles. Even since they are present in the air, sometimes we breathe those also. So, the function of this hair which is present in the nose, they will trap these foreign particles. And even sometimes what happens, even though the hair will trap these unwanted particles, sometimes they enter the nasal cavity. So that time what happened, to expel, because they are foreign materials, so we don't need those things. So we expel out. So how we expel? So when those particles enter the nasal cavity, we used to sneeze. So when we sneeze, so we expel the foreign particles out. So that always whenever you are sneezing, you just have to cover your nose, because when we sneeze, those foreign particles may enter the other person also. So that whenever we sneeze, we have to cover our nose. And also the smoking. The smoking is a very dangerous one and it is injurious to health. So by the smoking what happens? It is having the dense air. Okay, the smoking, when we smoke, it produces the dense air. So that what happens? That dense air which is released during the smoking, so that may be trap this lungs, and that may be settled in the lungs, or that may be depositing in the lungs, so that will damages the lungs. That is why we should not, means the smoking is not good, and even this smoking is also linked with the cancer. So since it contains the tobacco and it may lead to the cancer also, so that the smoking is injurious to health, it is very dangerous. Better means you just suggest your, if any of your neighbors or if any of your known people they are smoking, so then you just suggest them that do not smoke, like that. You just suggest. So hope you have understood this. And even though if you have any queries, you just contact me and clarify your doubts. Okay, with this I will conclude today's class, and in the next class we can discuss the remaining topic. So hope you understood. Thank you. Have a nice day.